welcome to the first episode of the Personal Pan Podcast. My name is acbtheman. That's you.
What? I've never introduced myself before, man. I'm sorry. I'm the talltech.
And we're going to answer some questions. We are going to start a video series soon called The Burning Question of the Week. And it's really going to be a couple questions that you people send in to us, you listeners. But we're going to do this Personal Pan Podcast, kind of short, kind of simple. We're going to answer some questions that I had for both the talltech and myself. Now, we used to have the Fat Cast. We had maybe 4 or 5 of those, and we really felt like we didn't want to be like any of the other Destiny YouTubers or Destiny podcasters who just say like every single thing they know about the gun and how many percent this and how many percent that. And we just want to kind of be a middle ground between the elite players and the normal guys. So we're calling it the Personal Pan Podcast because every pizza can be a personal pan pizza if you try hard enough.
We may have just had a large pizza here, so.
And it's a personal pan pizza. So we're just going to give you a bite-sized podcast. We're going to talk what's on our mind. If we're not the most knowledgeable, that's okay. We would like to be a little bit more knowledgeable than other people, but this is just what we're going with. So, first off, talltech, how are you?
Doing pretty good, other than my debit card information being stolen.
Seems like that's happening a lot nowadays. You got to be a little bit careful with that. So, did you get it resolved?
Yep, got my money back, and they got the people on camera. Oh, and by the way, to all the listeners, if you ever go to the gas pump, pull on the cart reader to make sure it's not loose. And if it is or it comes off, that might be a skimmer device. And that's what thieves use to scam your debit card or credit card information.
Hey, not only about Destiny, we get valuable information for your life. I have been working in the summer at my job to try to get inventory done and everything. The kids have left the classroom and we're inventorying everything we have. It stinks. But anyways, what have you been doing lately in Destiny, talltech?
Running 2-man nightfalls with you, apparently.
Apparently that's our thing, and it may just be my thing. The talltech is a little bit under-leveled right now. Yeah. The nightfall level says 320, and he's around 305. And since he's been like 15, 20 levels under for a while now, we just like to run the nightfall and just, hey, talltech, you're on there, so pull him in. So we run 2-man nightfalls. Last week was Iron Banner, and I personally love Iron Banner. I'll get to that in a second. So that's what I did a lot last week. I also have been just trying to run the Prison of Elders. I haven't done it this week, but I want to get my Varix leveled up so I can get some of those Wolves weapons. The Soul Stealer's Claw, I believe it's better than Doctrine of Passing if you can get a great stability roll. I have a range roll, and I still love it. Anyways, let's get on to questions. The way that we're going to do questions is I'm going to ask the question. The talltech is going to kind of give his answer. I'll give my answer, and then we'll talk about it if we need to. So, without further ado, how long have you been playing Destiny?
Ooh, about since a month before Year 2 came out.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So you've been playing since House of Wolves?
Yeah, but I never actually. Since I started, then it all was towards actually getting my character up to what was the level cap, 30 back then.
Yeah, 30. Or 34. Actually, I think 20 was level cap, and then your light level was dependent on how much light each of your armor pieces had.
Ah, gotcha.
Well, I've been playing since day one. I really didn't get into looking at Destiny like an RPG, MMO, FPS, all those letters, QRABC, all of them. I didn't really start looking at it seriously as a game until the Dark Below came out. I just was kind of playing it. Oh, I get this stuff, but then I hadn't really played a game like that. I was like, oh, wait, I want better gear. Oh, I want better stuff around the Dark Below. I love Dark Below, but I've been playing since week 1, so I think I have a little bit of knowledge. talltech's been playing almost a year now, so he's got a little bit of knowledge, so that's just something. Now, what is your favorite class and favorite subclass?
Well, seeing as Warlock is the only class I've gotten to level 40, I would have to say Warlock. And my favorite subclass, I would have to say, for grenade and punch ability, would be the Sunsinger class, and for super, Stormcaller.
Okay, you heard it here first. He's definitely a tryhard. Anyways, no, he's not. Definitely not. I have to say Defender Titan. That's not a very popular opinion, especially in PvP, but you gotta go with Defender Titan. I love the bubble. I just love the versatility it has. When you're in a PvE activity and everyone's like, oh, we need more damage or we need more health, you can always drop it there. In PvP, it's just so much fun to drop a bubble, especially if you're playing like Control and you
Yep.
drop the bubble outside
Uh-huh.
of the control zone. It confuses people. You run a Helm of Saint 14 build, drop it right outside there, and they're like, oh, I'm going to bypass this bubble. They run through the bubble to get to the point, and you're like, surprise, because they're blinded.
Yep.
I don't know. Bubble
Got
Titan just seems fun. I like all the Void. The Void ones are my favorite subclasses. I like the Void, but Bubble Titan's just so much fun, even if it's not the most aggressive super for PvP.
Yep.
All right. The next question is, how much do you play Destiny each week? So, how many hours every day, every other day? What kind? What do you do?
Well, more like per month for me. It's like 10 hours per month. So,
It pretty much when I play almost every single day, no matter what. I put in like an hour. It's just the game that I love. You just jump into it. But I seem to notice that the talltech plays on weekends or plays when Iron Banner rolls around. And this Iron Banner just happened to coincide with the end of school year for kids, and he had the end of school year, I had the end of school year, so we started doing that. I play like every single day, an hour to 3 hours. That's just, I love playing it. It's kind of how I unwind at the end of the day, and I just think that it's awesome that we can have two-man nightfalls and be able to do it and be able to compete competitively in Iron Banner, and we have two completely different amounts of time that we play. He plays
yep.
10 hours a month. I play 10 hours every 3 days.
Yep.
All right. What is your favorite PvE activity?
Um, just patrols, mainly. Something casual. Nothing too.
You stole my answer. I was actually going to say, lately it's been the Prison of Elders, the Challenge of the Elders, getting all the extra points. It's the first point system that is in PvE added in there. But lately, the patrols are a whole bunch of fun. We're both on the part of the Exotic Sword Quest where you have to get materials, and we're both doing the Arc Sword so we can farm materials on Earth together, and that is just so much fun, just to goof around. Hey, let's stop farming materials and go take on both the Taken Menace and a Fallen Walker, and so that's just very fun, very fun. You have anything else to say about that?
No, other than I still have a ton of quests I gotta catch up on.
Well, we'll get those done. Okay, now here's kind of what I was hinting at the beginning. What is your favorite PvP activity?
Iron Banner. Because that's nothing sweeter than taking down a 330 when you're a 3-0 at 5.
Okay, now which game mode in Iron Banner has been your favorite? Because Control to me it was the original and it's still my favorite.
Yep, Control.
Well, we're not very far apart. Some people say Clash. Some people say you can roll into Clash a little bit easier, especially if you have those guys in Control that just like to go take the other spawn point or the other flag for whatever reason. Pro tip, in case you don't know, never take the third flag. Hold down 2 points, get kills.
Yep.
When you take the third flag, they spawn behind you. Don't do it. But yeah, Iron Banner is competitive enough that I can go in. I like 6s better than I like 3s, but Iron Banner is competitive. You go in there, and I stink at Trials of Osiris right now. I'll get better eventually, but I stink at Trials of Osiris, and with Iron Banner, we can pull people in that are 307 and do well. In like Trials of Osiris, pulling a 307 in is almost suicide.
Yep.
So to go along with that, how would you rate yourself as a player in PvP based on a scale of 1 through 10?
Which one's high and which one's low?
1's bad, 10's high. 10's good.
I'm gonna go with a 5, a solid 5, because I don't exactly get a lot of kills, but I do provide a good distraction.
I, I do have to say I like it when Lucas is running away, saying they're behind me, they're behind me. Anyways, um, personally, I would say probably about a 7, 7.5. I'm better than most. I can solidly run a zero point 0.9 to 1.5 KD, but I'm not going to be on the top of the team. When we run our Iron Banners, I'm consistently second or third place, which is great, and I love being able to be consistent there, and I'm working on getting better, but I'm probably about a 7.5. All right, so back to PvE. I don't know which of the raids you've played, but what is your favorite raid out of the three?
The Taken King, because that's the only one I've completed.
You've only completed the last one. All right. Well, in order to keep this short, I'm going to go with Vault the Glass. Vault the Glass, the first one. We'll pull you through it pretty soon, Lucas, or talltech. Your name's not Lucas. Your name's talltech. But we'll pull you through it. But Vault the Glass was just the first one there. It was the first time that I started jumping in every week and looking for people to play with and trying to drag other people into the game. And so Vault the Glass is my favorite. Okay, here comes another one.
Okay.
What is your favorite primary? What's your favorite special? What's your favorite heavy weapon in the game? You can either say your favorite gun, your favorite one from almost each one of those subcategories, and it doesn't have to be an exotic. It can be a legendary.
Okay. What about rare?
Okay.
I'm just joking. I don't have a favorite rare.
You better not. I'll kick you out of the clan.
Hawk Moon is my favorite primary, just because one shot, one kill most of the time. My favorite special has got to be my Long Far Gone fusion rifle.
Nice.
Just because I don't know why, I just like it. My favorite heavy would have to be my, you'll have to correct me on this, Illuminum's Frenzy. How do you say that?
Okay, yeah, the rocket launcher.
Yeah,
it's the raid rocket.
Yeah, it's the first weapon I got from the raid, so it's kind of sentimental, I guess.
I can see that. My favorite primary is the Soul Stealer's Claw. It is right now in a very good spot in the meta, however you say it. It is a bullet hose auto rifle, just like the Doctrine of Passing is, but it's got more bullets, and if you have stability, has the potential to be a little bit better. I have a range hole on mine. My right stick just kind of feathers out a little bit, so it's great. In PvP, it melts people, even in normal PvP. In Iron Banner, where gear matters, it really melts them. My favorite secondary is not the one I use the most. I use the LDR 5001 from year one the most, but Lord of Wolves is my favorite secondary because it's kind of that burst shotgun. It can keep kills from a farther range. I just don't use it as much. Then my favorite heavy is a tie between my Ruin Wake and my Dragon's Breath. My Ruin Wake has a very good stability roll, and my Dragon's Breath just lights everything on fire. So that's what I like about that. Okay, so keeping with that, we're going to go with what is your favorite exotic armor piece?
Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. Just because I have like 3 right now. My favorite exotic armor piece for my Arc subclass, not Arc, what's it called? Stormcaller subclass, is the Impossible Machines.
The landfall granting ones?
Yep. And, yeah, it just helps me get in the game that much quicker. And then my favorite chest piece for Sunsinger is Void Fang Vestments.
Gotcha. What does that one do?
It gives spawn with full grenade, and the way my Sunsinger class subclass is set up is I have 2 grenades, so I insta spawn with 2 grenades. And it also reduces incoming solar burn damage, and it can also increase my void based armor.
Nice, nice. So you don't set it up like most people do. Most people do Touch of Flame, Viking Funeral, Firebolt grenades, and you just use 2 grenades.
Yeah, because I'm usually a lot lower light level than everybody else, both in game and the 2-man Nightfall. I built my subclass or my Warlock around the fact that I die every 5 minutes, and so I run Sunsinger Self Revive. I run it with grenades because most of the time when we play, it's sun damage or solar damage is increased. So I use my grenades, and my punch ability replenishes my shields, so I can get in a group of enemies, punch one, throw grenades, and die, and last a little while. Then if the rest of my team's okay, I can insta spawn back in. Because I spawn and my armor allows me to have grenades, I insta spawn with 2 grenades. Even then, though, I guess solar subclass it consistently replenishes my grenades, but I get 2 grenades right off, and then they quickly respawn for me. So the entire level ends up looking like a mini solar system with or mini galaxy with all the suns around.
I do have to say, I like when you spawn in with those grenades. You're like, should I pop it? Yes, yes. And we see all those grenades. It's great. I have 2 favorite exotic pieces. My first one is from a hunter, the Graviton Forfeit, where you get the Shade Step for free with your Void subclass for the hunter. Shade Step's amazing. Plus you get Keen Scout and Shade Step. My other favorite exotic is for my Titan. It is the Glass House. It extends the duration of the effect of Weapons of Light or Blessing of Light. It is purely a PvE helmet. In PvP, it looks cool, but in PvP, it really doesn't do anything. In PvE, though, it extends. When you step out of the bubble, the time that you have weapons, the time you have Blessing of Light is extended. So you do more damage in PvE. And I've always loved that. I've always loved being able to do that. All right, and welcome back to the second half of the PPP podcast. That's Personal Pan Podcast to you. The editing's not going to show up, but we did have to stop, so we are back, and we're going to answer some more questions. I'm acbtheman, and you are?
talltech.
All right, so we just got done talking about our favorite exotic piece of armor, so we're going to turn around and start talking about the game again. Actually, take it back. My question is for other games. What other games besides Destiny do you play?
Rocket League.
If I had Rocket League, yes, I'll play Rocket League. But Minecraft?
I play the PC version. The Xbox, not so much. I do, however, play, or I've 100%ed Shadow of Mordor. That game, if you ever have aggression issues, just play that game and you'll be nice and calm afterwards. Pro tip.
Well, I have it, and I'm about to start playing it. Tonight, probably after you go to bed, I'm going to stay playing. Anyways, so, other games, we have all those other games. There are others coming out, like Gears of War 4 is coming out at the end of this year. Andrew and I are going to play it. But, I mean, we play Destiny a lot. I think I like Destiny more than Lucas does, but he still likes Destiny.
Yeah, I like this.
All right, next question. What do you think Destiny could do to become a better game? So what can the current game right now do to be a better game? Not Destiny 2, not anything in the past, but what can they do specifically right now to be a better game?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a hard one. More. I don't know. I kind of like to actually have more free roam levels. Just because,
More patrol spaces.
well, no, more, what's it called? More patrols. That's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But, like, say for instance, we're in the Dreadnought on the rings of Saturn. Like, do we not patrol Saturn itself or another planet? I don't know, just new areas with different enemies.
See, I am more about. I can see that one, but I'm more about the leveling up system. I think that the harder level activities, the raid, the nightfall, stuff like that, I believe that they should guarantee you an item that is higher than your light level. And what I mean by that is, if you have a 333 helmet, you will get a 333 or above helmet guaranteed. Or if it gives you a heavy weapon, it is at your heavy weapon or higher. Now the raid does that a little bit better, but like we're playing Nightfall, and you got a weapon, you were 307. I think you got a weapon that was like 295.
Yep.
It was a great weapon, but it's 295. Well, yes, you can infuse other stuff in it. Yes, you could still use it to some extent. I think if they had a system where the harder level activities guaranteed you some of that higher level loot, I think that could do. I think that's what they can do right now to make this a better game.
Yeah.
Okay, now what we want them to do. What do you think Destiny has already done well?
Well, I like the enemy designs. I mean, they're not enemies that just stand in one spot and take hits. They actually require you to chase after them. I don't know. It's like they have their AI is a lot better than other games I've played. Call of Duty Ghost. What?
What I think they have done well already is I think they've done well on responding to criticism. And I'm not just talking about Destiny, I'm talking about Bungie, where it may have taken a little bit, but last summer we had the Thorn shotgun craze, and they looked at that and people didn't like that. Year 2 came around and they said that's not going to happen. We needed fusion rifles up a little bit more because every single time we got an update, they nerfed fusion rifles for whatever reason. And then the April update, they're coming back, they're doing good. So I think that Destiny has done well of evolving as a game and kind of looking at its own faults. And I know it's a lot of Bungie, but changing and constantly trying to be a better game. That's what I think they have done well.
Yeah.
Okay, this last one could be a little bit big or could be a small one. What do you hope for in Destiny 2 that they may not be able to do in Year 3? In Year 3, they're bringing another expansion out. It's probably called Rise of Iron. I don't know. We'll know more next week, next Thursday at the PlayStation Presser for E3. But what do you hope for Destiny 2 that may not be physically able to happen right now? For example, I'll go ahead and say one of mine. They may not be able to put in dedicated servers right now just because their server infrastructure would be too expensive, or the game might not run on dedicated servers at this point. And that's just one of them. Do you have an example like that?
Yeah. Back to this whole dedicated server thing. Isn't that kind of like a Xbox thing? Or
well, no. That the dedicated servers. What I'm talking about is right now they run a peer-to-peer hosting thing.
right.
So one person in the game is hosting, and everyone connects to them. Dedicated servers would be a server off-site that everyone connects into. So there's not a host. So your connection is not going to a host, going down to everybody else, coming back to the host, and coming to you. You're connecting straight to the server. That's not a Microsoft thing. That's a Bungie thing.
Okay, so it's not hardware related. Cause I
No.
knew,
PlayStation and Xbox. Sorry, I misheard your question. PlayStation and Xbox are both peer-to-peer hosting right now, and we need to have dedicated servers. But that may not happen till Destiny 2 because they're just going to continue to use the same kind of thing.
Ah.
right now through year 3.
So we are getting dedicated servers in Destiny 2?
No, but I mean, like, that's one
Oh,
of my
you
hopes.
got my hopes
That's one
up.
of my hopes. So, but to see, that's one of my hopes is that they have that. So, do you have anything that you don't think that they can do right now, but they might can do for Destiny 2?
Um, bigger raid groups. Raid groups of 12 would be awesome.
I could see that. That may be a little bit confusing, but I can see how that could potentially
Oh,
work.
come on. If WoW can do it, why can't Destiny?
Well, just because
Yeah, I
it's a
know.
little bit different than WoW, but um, one of my big ones, and everyone says it, is custom games. And I don't think custom games are on the table for Destiny Year 3. And I believe that has honestly to do with the peer-to-peer system. Custom games might not be as easy to set up. I have no idea. But I just think that may come out in Destiny 2. It's not going to come out in Year 3. Um, Another one that I have is things in Patrol that are NPC or getting quest in Patrol.
Yeah.
Like maybe an exotic quest that you can only get in Patrol after you kill something, like a specific uh, public event comes in, you finish it off, you kill the special enemy that's there once you're a certain level, and then an icon pops up over, and there's some guy like sitting in the shack that says, "Oh, I'm Joe Bob the Hunter, and I just saw that you killed that heavy whatever. Here, go look into this." And it starts like an exotic quest line, and the only way you could start it is literally going to patrol. We think patrols are fun. It's an easy way to kind of chill, but I want something more than just searching for spin metal or slowly trying to level up your Vanguard rep. I think that adding those kind of things in, I don't know if they're going to do it year 3. I doubt it. But adding those things in will make patrol spaces feel more alive to me
Right.
than anything else. One other thing that I hope for Destiny 2 that will not be done for year 3, and it's probably going to happen in Destiny 2. I'm an Xbox player, and I'm going to complain about the PlayStation exclusivity.
Ah.
I understand there's exclusivity in games. I understand that certain game consoles get things sooner. For example, Call of Duty. Xbox always seems to get Call of Duty stuff a month before the PlayStation guys. The key word there is 1 month. This year of exclusivity stuff is kind of stupid. The year of exclusivity that happened again was really stupid. Year 2 came around and they said, hey, we have an exclusive strike, we have an exclusive weapon, and guess what? We have exclusive armor for you to get if you're on PlayStation. And that was after a year of not having 2 or 3 strikes and not having the Hawk Moon, the Fourth Horseman, the Monte Carlo, that kind of deal. Honestly, when the Taken King came out, I almost stopped playing Destiny, almost stopped supporting Bungie because of that. And I realized that that's not completely a Bungie thing. I realize the PlayStation 4 is technically a stronger hardware. I realize that Activision and Sony are probably pushing money towards Bungie and saying, hey, make this exclusive stuff. We want people on our console. And I understand the Xbox guys, even though we don't like it, we still love the game and we still want to play it. And in a year time, hey, I'll be able to get those exclusive strikes. I'll be able to play with those weapons. But I feel that a year is too much. And I feel that doing it again is way too much. And I know that's just one point, and I know I can get over myself, and I know that when year 3 starts, I'll get the year 2 stuff. It just annoys me that it is so long and that it happened twice. This was the most angry I've gotten at a game company since they nerfed the scout rifle thing in Halo 4. The DMR. They nerfed the DMR in Halo 4, and you had to use the battle rifle. I was angry then. Now I was angry year two. Now, thinking back on it, I can get over it. Thinking back on it, I'm still having a fantastic time. But there's content that I don't have because I have a different system. And it's not that I'm waiting a month. It's not that, oh, well, I gotta wait till next month to get it. I'm waiting a year to get it. I'm seeing videos of people doing stuff with this content, and I can't get it till later because I can't afford another system on top of my Xbox right now, or I don't want to switch over and start a whole new ecosystem. And so my hope is that Destiny 2 comes out, the exclusivity times are less. Even if they were only 6 months, I know that still sucks, but that would be better than a year. And having multiple years, that's just my rant, and it annoys me to no end that because I play the quote-unquote inferior console, I don't have all the cool stuff.
Yeah, I grew up with PlayStation, so I can't say anything.
So I grew up with PlayStation. I mean, I first started playing online games with Xbox, but I had a PlayStation 2. I mean, like, I love the PlayStation system. That's not the point. The point to me is the year-long exclusivity is too long. And doing it twice is too much. I understand where they're coming from. Somebody waves a whole bunch of money in your face and says, do it. You're going to do it. And it's not that bad. It's only like 2 strikes and 3 weapons or whatever. But because I don't have a PlayStation, I can't get that content, and I paid the same amount of money. That's what annoys me about that. I'm going to get off that. I did think of one other thing, though. I hope Destiny 2 does not support last gen. I think the people that have played Destiny for 3 years on the Xbox 360 or the PS3 can save up some money and buy a next generation console. And I understand that I just said I don't like an exclusivity thing. But this is not an exclusivity thing. This is a power thing. This is a way the game is made thing. I think that having it on the new systems only and not on last gen will help them maybe boost it up to 60 frames a second instead of 30. And I don't really notice 60 frames a second versus 30, but I know it'll be smoother. I know that the resources might not be as split as they are because they're trying to do 2 different ecosystems. But I just really hope they drop last gen, and maybe that will allow for updates to come out faster.
Yeah.
Instead of developing for 4 systems, they're developing for 2. Even if these new PlayStation 4.5s or Xbox 1.5s come out, that's still only 2 different ecosystems they're working with instead of 4. So that's another hope that I have for Destiny 2 that is there that they can't do in year 3. I think Destiny 1 is going to be completely all 4 consoles, but they need to drop it when they go to Destiny 2.
Yep. Sounds good.
Thank you for listening to our ramblings and our rants and our answers to some questions. This has been the Personal Pan Podcast #1. I'm acbtheman.
And I'm the talltech.
And we will catch you on the flip side. Just remember, this is on YouTube. So like, comment, subscribe. I'm serious. Comment down on the bottom. This was our Personal Fan Podcast #1, but we kind of mixed it with the burning questions of the week. We want to start another video series where we do a burning questions of the week in about 10 minutes. Comment below. Put your questions. We'll answer them, I promise. If you have any of these questions you want to hear again, or if your question is, now I'm stealing this from another podcast, if your question is a hot dog a sandwich, we'll debate it. If your question is, if the color purple were to run into its ex, would they get a dog? We'll answer it. Put your questions in the comments below. As always, share this. Share this with NASA. NASA needs to know. They need to send it on the Mars lunar rover. That was 2 different things. They need to send it on the Mars rover to Mars. Those aliens at Mars need to know about the Fat Guardians. Share it with NASA so it can get everywhere. International Space Station, they'll put it on the side. The bumper sticker on the rocket will say the Personal Pan Podcast. So please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. You got anything else to add?
Well, have a good night. That's all I got.
Any pizza can be a personal pan pizza if you try hard enough. Thank you, and have a good night.
Good night.